can we make a better steak? That is the question of the day today, folks. Can we make a better steak? Welcome back to the FOGO Life. I'm your host, Captain Ron. So today what we're gonna do is I've got these two beautiful cowboy tomahawk steaks here. They're ribeyes. They are choice steaks. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook them side by side, except that we are going to inject one all over and full with tallow. Hey, Captain Ron, why inject it with tallow, you say? Well, you think about it. If you go to get a prime or an A5 Wagyu steak or something like that, it's full of marbling. What is marbling? It is internal fat in the meat. So what we want to do is we want to see if increasing the amount of fat inside the meat before we cook it, will help to make a better steak. Can we make a choice steak, prime, or even Wagyu? So I want you guys to know, I go to work for you. I searched my tail off to find two exact steaks. And I drove my local butchers crazy. Well, anyway, I came up with two. They are identical looking steaks. They're identical weight. They're 2.3 pounds each. They're both choice ribeyes. They are both beautiful. They're both cowboy steaks. They're exactly the same. So there could be no disparaging that they use different steaks. Nope, they look identical. So I guess in order to turn a choice steak into Wagyu, well, we needed to add some Wagyu to it. So we sell this Wagyu Tallow here. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna use our old injector here, and this thing's got little holes all over it so that it doesn't just shoot out the end, it shoots out all the sides. So every time I do this, it's punching out 3, 6, 9, 12 different spots, it's pumping it out. So we're gonna load this thing up, and I mean load it up with a lot of this stuff. Okay, now the first spot we're gonna go all along the whole entire side. So throw it in, squeeze. Oh, you can see that steak build up, look at that. And you squeeze the whole time that you're doing this. So you squeeze, oh yeah. We're gonna do it in a bunch of different spots here. Now, because this is still pretty liquidy, I wanna make sure and solidify it up a little. So we're gonna take our Wagyu tomahawk, and we're gonna take our regular choice tomahawk, and we're gonna stick them in the fridge. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna take this pick right here and stick it in the one that we injected with the tallow. So we'll always know which one it is. To the refrigerator! All right, all right, all right. We have got one Wagyu, one non-Wagyu steak. You can tell, look at the way that fat congealed up. It just sits there now, no more running off. So I think we're in good shape here. The grill is at 300 degrees, a little hotter than I wanted it, but that's gonna be A-okay. So for today's experiment, what are you gonna season them with? Well, let me tell you, when you make your own award-winning championship rub, that's what we're gonna use. It's a black activated charcoal rub, so it's gonna look really cool before we ever even put it on the grill. So let me season these babies up and get them on the grill. You always want to start with a nice clean grill. See the way that that's starting to form grooves in it here? I love these wood ones because there's no wire bristles. All right, we're gonna stick our meter in here to monitor our temperatures. We're gonna cook this to 115 degrees. That's what we're gonna go to. Simple, gonna lay them both on here and let them go to 115. So what's the whole purpose of doing this experiment? Well, if you know anything about these steaks, the more marbling, generally the more tender, the more flavor, because it's really just internal fat. So we all know that fat equals flavor. So what we're hoping to be able to do here is take a fairly inexpensive steak and inject it with that beautiful Wagyu tallow and make it so that you're gonna get a more tender bite, a more flavorful bite, and just an overall much better eating experience, I guess is what you could say. That's what we're looking for. We're hoping it works. I don't know. Let me know in the comments right now what you think, and then tell me afterwards if you think that we were right, all right? I'm curious to see myself. I've never done this. Now, while I'm cleaning up and getting ready for the next stage here, a good point was just brought up to me. Ron, normally when you make a steak, you let it sit out on the counter for 15, 20 minutes and come closer to room temperature before putting it on the grill. Absolutely. Did we do that this time? Absolutely not. The reason being is that the whole reason we put it in the refrigerator in the first place, we wanted that fat that we injected kind of to solidify so it stays in the meat. I didn't want it to warm up and have a chance running out again. I wanted as much of that in the steak when we put it on the grill. So for that reason only, we put it on while it was still pretty cold. So let me get back to cleaning and get ready for the next step, okay? We have hit the magic number and we're ready to take our 2 steaks off. Hopefully one choice, one prime or better. All right, here comes the first one. Look at that. And our super duper, you should see all of the fat and drippings that are on that plate setter. That is hysterical. All right, Now we're gonna rest these while I take out all the insides and get this thing heated up so we can go direct and sear these things for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half per side. We want a nice good char on them. So let me get to emptying the egg now. Woo! All right, let's throw our first one on. We'll take our meter out here. And they're all nice and rested, so we're gonna throw them on here, right over the hot flames. And now for number 2, our big giant fat steak, literally fat steak. Ready? Couple of quick observations. They both seared really fast. I think they both had some decent marbling to start with. But one thing I do notice, it looks like the one that we injected stayed quite a bit plumper. So I'm curious to see if that's going to make a difference in it or how it's going to be. But we're going to let these rest for about 10 minutes now. Let all those juices redistribute and regather themselves in there so that when we cut it open, we're not going to have a cutting board full of juices. We're going to have a steak full of juices instead. That's what we want. Steak done right. All right, let's go with number 1 here. Let's see, looking good. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, take it off the bone. Just like that. Let's see what it looks like. And on to number 2. I think we can take the pick out of it now. I think we're safe. And let's see what we've got. Okay. Pink there. Nice and tender, I can tell you that. Oh yeah, looking good. Beautiful pink. Well, they both look beautiful. One thing I've noticed when I cut a steak sometimes, as soon as I cut it open, I'm like, oh my God, it's a little overdone. Then a minute later, it's super pink and it looks absolutely perfect. So I'm happy with the way this came out. Beautiful. They both look pink. Actually, the one with the fat, I think it actually cooked a little bit quicker. It got a little bit more done than the other one did. So I had to really keep an eye on that next time. But there's only one thing left to do, and that is to taste them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and really take one for the team here. So a little slice of the non-injected one, non-injected steak first. Here we go. So like I said, that one was a little bit chewier, plenty of flavor, looks good, but now let's try the injected one. I'm gonna go a little smaller piece too. That's actually got a little different flavor to it. I mean, it's a little bit beefier. Wow. And you know what else? Look, I'm done chewing it already. A little bit smaller piece, but it was far more tender. Far more tender. That exceeded my expectations on what it's going to do. I didn't think it would change it that much. It actually made it quite a bit more tender, even though it was a little bit more well done than the other one. So, flavor-wise, it's got a little deeper, beefier flavor. Tenderness, it's a little bit more tender. It's easier to chew. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest with you. I didn't think it would make that much of a difference. I figured maybe a little difference, but that's pretty incredible. So we took a choice steak, we injected it with Wagyu Tallow, and we actually, I would have to say that we improved this steak and made this into a better steak. Huh, who knew? I'm pretty shocked. I don't know what you think. Did you think that we were gonna be able to do that? Did you think it would make a difference? Tell the truth. Leave me a note in the comments. Tell me what you thought in the beginning and what you think at the end now. I wanna know, because I wanna keep doing stuff like this. If you guys don't have an interest in it, I'm not gonna do it. But if you're interested to see stuff like this, tell me about it. Also, tell me what else you wanna see. We're open to ideas. So this was great. I get the great fortune of eating 2 tomahawk steaks now, and they're both delicious, so I'm in good shape. Remember to subscribe to our channel, listen, if you liked and are interested in any of the products that we used here today, there's a link down below. I put a link for every single one of these products in the description down below. So just check it out and hit that link, do what you gotta do, all right? But in any case, until then, until you go ahead and inject your next steak with tallow, I want you to remember to get out and grill, and I'll see you the next time on the FOGO Life.